Hello friends, today I'm back with new interesting stories. So let's get started. So our first story is Very Best Friends. When Grace moved into her new house, she loved her pretty new bedroom and the garden full of trees. But she missed all her friends. Grace's favorite game was dressing up, but it was no fun to play on her own. One day, Grace was fluttering around the garden in her favorite fairy dress and sparkling wings when she heard a girl's voice in the yard next door. She looked over the fence, but all she could see were black clothes and long tangled hair. "Oh dear," Grace said. "I like to wear pretty colors and have neat hair. I don't think we'll ever be friends." A few days later, Grace saw the girl from next door again, but this time she was wearing a pretty dress and purple shoes. Then Grace noticed that the girl was crying. "Hello," Grace said softly. "Why are you crying?" The girl told Grace her name was Emma and then sighed. "I was flying around in my bumblebee costume and the wings caught on a tree and ripped." "Do you like dressing up?" asked Grace. Emma nodded. "It's my favorite game." "It's mine too," said Grace excitedly. "You can borrow my fairy wings if you like." "Thank you," said Emma happily. Grace and Emma spent all afternoon dressing up. Next day, Emma knocked on Grace's door. She was wearing a fairy godmother costume. "Thank you for letting me use your fairy wings," she said. "Thank you for playing with me," said Grace. "I have come to grant you a wish," said Emma. "I wish," said Grace, "that we will always be best friends." Emma waved her magic wand and, smiling, took her new friend's hand in her and gave it a squeeze. "Let's be very best friends ever," said Emma. "This is a real wish come true," sighed Grace, and the two girls did a happy twirly fairy dance together. The next story is I Will Have to Think Again. Frog was sitting on a lily pad reading a cookbook. It was his birthday and he wanted to make a birthday cake. To surprise his friends, he wrote a list of the ingredients and set out to get them. First, Frog went to his friend the miller to get a bag of flour. "How will you get the bag of flour home?" asked the miller. "I will swim up the river with it," replied Frog. "But the flour will get wet," warned the miller, "and it will be no use to you at all." "Oh," said Frog, "I will have to think again." Next, Frog went to see his friend Brown Cow for a bucket of her milk. "How will you get the milk home without spilling it into the river?" asked Brown Cow. "Oh, I don't really know," mumbled Frog. "I will have to think again." Frog decided to visit Speckled Hen for some eggs. "Take as many as you want," she told Frog. "But how will you get them home?" "I will tuck the eggs under my chin," said Frog happily. "But you might drop them and they'll break," replied Speckled Hen. "Oh," croaked Frog, and a tear fell from the corner of his eye. "I'll just have to think again." Frog returned to his lily pad. empty-handed and miserable. The sun was warm and he was tired, so he drifted off to sleep. Happy birthday to you! Suddenly, Frog woke up. On the bank of the pond stood all his friends, singing. The miller was holding a birthday cake. But how? We wanted to surprise you, said the miller. Brown cow provided the milk, speckled hen laid some eggs, and I mixed the ingredients with my flour and baked you a cake. Wow, thank you, grinned the frog. But I was going to make a cake to surprise you. Well, his friends laughed. You will have to think again. Now, let's go to our next rhyme. I plant a little seed. I plant a little seed in the cold, old ground. But comes the yellow sun, big and round. Down come the raindrops, soft and slow. Up come the flower, grow, grow, grow. Next rhyme. One man went to mow. One man went to mow a meadow. One man and his dog went to mow a meadow. Two men went to mow a meadow. Two men, one man and his dog went to mow a meadow. Next, go to our next rhyme. A swarm of bees in May. A swarm of bees in May is worth a load of hay. A swarm of bees in June is worth a silver spoon. A swarm of bees in July is not worth a fly. Next rhyme. 4 seats in a row. 4 seats in a row. 4 seats in a row. One for the mouse, one for the crow. One to rot and one to grow. Next rhyme. Grinding corn. Early in the misty morn, the miller's up to grind some corn. Wheels turn, sacks will fill, as he grinds corn in his mill. Please subscribe to my channel for more such interesting stories and rhymes. See you in the next video.